Dear Mr. Ludenowski, being the campaign manager for Donald Trump, I'm sure you're aware of the situation we've gotten ourselves in terms of this election. There have been harsh allegations against all of the frontrunners. According to the media, Bernie Sanders is a communist. Hillary Clinton is up to her eyes in lies. And Ted Cruz is the only thing that scares us more than Donald Trump, who, frankly, can run his mouth, but we're skeptical of his ability to run the country. But please, do not misinterpret my intentions. I want to help, and thus I'm offering my advice. I too want to make America great again. According to USA Today, the reason most college students like myself do not like Trump is his reality star personality. They feel that, quote, he has made a mockery of the US government, end quote. They don't always agree with Trump's word choice, but do agree with many of his views on issues such as border control, end quote. Since it is his demeanor that offends people, and not necessarily his political views, I'm proposing a shift in campaign strategy. In other words, an attitude adjustment. My proposal is that you hire a press consultant whose responsibilities are specific to monitoring the way Trump's word choice affects the campaign. I can almost hear your opposition. If letting Trump run loose has worked thus far, why would you listen to a young, naive college girl? I would like to answer that theoretical question in a multifaceted way. The reason being that I am exactly that, a young, college-aged female. A demographic that is not likely to vote for Trump. We're supposed to be as liberal as they come. The second is that I recognize the reason that the campaign strategy has worked so far.
That he is the closest thing to a candidate who says what he means and means what he says.
Republican strategist Frank Luntz is among those surprised to see Trump make it this far.
Republicans were looking for the antithesis of Barack Obama, and they found it in Donald Trump.
The truth he is winning because people find him entertaining and they want to see what he'll do next.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
I predict that he will win the Republican candidacy because it'll still be funny. But once people have to sit down and seriously consider such an uncontrollable man in command of our country, it won't be funny anymore. Back in the beginning of the election, D's Nuts, a 12-year-old boy under an alias name, had 18% of the vote, putting up some of the highest numbers for a third-party candidate that we have seen in several decades. But do you think that they're voting for him because of his great views on foreign policy? Neither do I. They voted for him because it was funny. And when it stopped being funny, they stopped voting. You need to have people value Trump's ideas over his entertainment factor.
Ellie.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
How can you succeed when you say things like that?
Well, you can't, again, Gail, if the question is how can you become president, you can't by saying things like that.
I recognize that Hope Hicks is your press consultant, the person that these responsibilities would normally fall to, although they are not in her job description. With Trump's TV spontaneity and access to social media, she does not have time to take any preventative measures. This is why you need to hire another person, someone whose responsibilities includes prepping Trump for interviews and speeches, etc. One aspect of her job would be sitting down with Trump and teaching him how to say things without coming off as crass. Instead of,
We have people chopping the heads off many other people. The medieval times, I mean, we studied medieval times. Not since medieval times have people seen what's going on. I would bring back waterboarding, and I'd bring back a hell of a lot worse than waterboarding.
She could prompt him to say something like, there has been an increase of terrorist threats to the United States in recent years. So in answer to your question, I would go to any measures necessary to protect the American people, including waterboarding. Another aspect would be getting him the facts so that he stops making hasty generalizations on people like women and Mexicans.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I
No, Mr. Trump, Mexico does not round up its worst people and send them to America. If he had a press consultant to prep him, he or she would give him the facts, the real facts on immigration crime. And he can use those facts in his speech to make his point without coming off as a crazy racist. So now the question is, why not? What is holding Trump back from getting this press consultant? Is it the money? According to the Huffington Post, a press secretary, similar to the position, gets $63,000 a year. I would suggest that this press consultant gets the same amount. And taking into consideration Trump's crazy net worth,
So the total is $8,737,540,000. Now,
hiring this person would cost him 0.00007% of his net worth. With my tiny net worth, it would cost me 4 cents in comparison. So please take the time to consider my proposal. In order to get my vote, the vote of other college students, and the vote of the people who think that having a reality star in office slanders the name of our great country, you need to change the way that people see him. Your strategy has worked thus far, but if you don't adapt,
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.